Let's get started with our today's stream. Yeah, we'll watch it. Great. Let's get started with our today's stream. So in today's stream, we are going to talk about what exactly the history of the blockchains. We'll talk about the history of the blockchain. So for that, let me reshare my screen so that everyone get to see. Okay, so today we'll talk about the history of blockchain. So everyone, like if you know the basics of the blockchain, you should know that what blockchain is exactly. Okay, but blockchain does not came between 2008 and 2009. It was there in the market for a very long period of time. It was there in the market from 1991. Okay, so this was the time frame when blockchain first got introduced in the market. Okay, so this was the first time when somebody got an idea of a database where we have a feature of time stamping, which means every digital document will have a time stamp that will help in finding that when this document is created. So that if you have any doc file, if you have any digital doc file, you that we can from the digital doc file we can get to know when this particular doc file was created. You will get a time and the date. So which this was the first evolution that has happened in the blockchain space. So this is when the blockchain first came into picture. Okay, after that, in 1992, there was a three guys named Bears, Haber, and Storenta. They came up with an idea of hash key. So that was the next evolution that has happened from 1991 to 1992. We came up with a new idea. Okay, then 1996, we have something called decentralized storage system that came into picture, where you cannot delete any updates. Let's say if you are adding data, so this is what blockchain is all about. So in blockchain you cannot add, or you cannot delete, or you cannot update the data, which means if you have any data that is already written in the blockchain, it can't be added, it can't be deleted, or it can't be updated. So any data which is written inside the blockchain, it it can't be updated or deleted, which means all the databases has four functionalities like crud we call it as a crud functionality, which is called create, read, update, and delete. So all the database that are there in the market has these four functionality. One is create, read, update, and delete. But when it comes to blockchain based database, we have only two functionalities called create and read, which means you cannot update the data, you cannot delete the data, which means you don't have these two functionality in the blockchain based databases. Okay, so that was why we have these kind of structure in the blockchain. The reason of building this kind of structure, so that nobody can forge the system. Let's say there is a wrong entry that is added in the blockchain. Okay, and if somebody tried to change that entry in the blockchain, that is not possible. Okay, because nobody can change any wrong entry, nobody can do the corrections of the mistake, because that is not the feature of the blockchain, which means any data that is once written can't be deleted. Okay, so that is the feature of the blockchain. Okay, so initially the blockchain is designed in such a way so that nobody can forge the system, and that is why we need a decentralized database where we don't have these functionalities. Okay, okay, so data is stored in the blockchain in the form of blockchain is consist of multiple blocks. Okay, so every blocks consist of data, and these data is like validated and verified and validated using a consensus mechanism, and each blocks are connected with one another using a consensus mechanism. So this is how the data is stored in the blockchain. So data is stored in the form of blocks. Every block will consist of the data transaction that has happened inside the ecosystems, and every block need to be validated and verified before it will be added into the blockchain based database. Okay, that is what how the blockchain work. Okay, so data is stored in the form of blocks. Every block will have the collection of all the transaction that has happened. So instead of creating, like adding all the data, it only add the transaction hash key, I guess, and we talked about it yesterday. So if you like if you watch the previous video, you will get an idea how data is stored. Okay, what is the, instead of adding the complete data, it only add the hash key. Okay, because the hash key will have a reference to that data. So basically it does not add the complete data, it only add the reference of the data. That is how the blockchain is designed, so that instead of adding complete data, you just need to only add the reference that will be stored in the database. So with that reference you can find out the data. Okay, that is how this blockchain based database work. Okay, yeah, basically it is a cloud computing thing. No, you store the data in the cloud only. No, this is the how it's a cloud computing thing. Okay, after that 1998, we got the system got little advanced, and we have implemented something called cryptography. So in simple language, if somebody asks you what is cryptography, so cryptography is a method to hide the data. Let's say if there is a original data, let's say there is a data for 10-50 people. Okay, you don't want to showcase that data to everyone, so what you can do, you can convert that data into a ciphertext. Basically that is ciphertext, basically is a converted text, and that is what the cryptography things work. This is how cryptography things work. So if you use WhatsApp, now in WhatsApp there is something called you see a message called end to end encryption, which means whatever data you're sending to your friend or somebody sending you, in that case all the data is encrypted. Okay, which means nobody can see what is written inside the data, because all the data is already encrypted. So that is how this whole ecosystem is designed, which means whatever data is written inside the ecosystem can't be tracked, because it is cryptographed. The data is cryptographed, which means all the data is hidden inside using this cryptography mechanism. Okay, so this is the thing that is introduced in the blockchain in 1998. Okay, and then in 2002 we came up with an idea that is called file system with decentralized trust, where you can save your files on block in a database which is managed by multiple people, which means people will it basically it is like you trust on multiple parties who will verify and validate the data for you. Okay, and then in 2005 there is a first version of the blockchain that came into picture. But Satoshi in 2008 he has introduced something called Bitcoin, that was evolved in 2008, and 2009 was the period when blockchain came into picture for the first time, when first Bitcoin got minted in the market. Okay, so initially blockchain was there in the market from 1991. That it just got evolved from 1991. They have changed few things in the blockchain based database. They keep on changing things, and this is how the blockchain came into it's like you can say like it is a version upgrade that is happening in the blockchain from last few years. Okay, currently we are living in the blockchain 3.0 era, where we have something called Cosmos, which is an interchain blockchain ecosystem, where you can create multiple blockchain using the Cosmos ecosystem. So this Cosmos is a blockchain which allow you to create multiple blockchain on Cosmos ecosystem, which means you can create blockchain over blockchain. So that is the feature that is there in the market as of now. We call it blockchain 3.0. So this is how blockchain came into like this blockchain ecosystem got like keeps on evolving every single day. So we got a good number of different types of blockchain that are there. Okay, if you want to study this blockchain concept in detail, you can easily read this article. This article will help you in understanding the blockchain history, how blockchain has evolved, how blockchain was there, when was the first blockchain came into picture, what was the next evolution that has happened. This is how keep on these things keep on happening. Is there a 3D example for Cosmos ecosystem? See, for blockchain, I guess if you wanted to know, so if you want to know about blockchain, how things will work, okay, for that you just need to know one thing, okay, that initially when if you want to build a blockchain ecosystem, you need around 3 layers. Okay, if you want to build a blockchain ecosystem, you need 3 layers. You need a networking layer, you need a consensus, and you need an application that will run on the blockchain. Which means you need to build a blockchain, you need 3 things that are required. One is blockchain, second you need call the consensus, and third you need that is how this like how the block how the small contract will work on that blockchain. Okay, you need these 3 layers. Cosmos help you in solving these two layers problem, which means you need not to create a networking layer, you need not to create a consensus mechanism, you only need to build the applications, you need to only create a feature by which you can start building your application on the blockchain, which means Cosmos solve two problems for you. One is the networking layer problem, Cosmos solve you the second problem, that is a consensus problem. So these two problems are solved by the Cosmos, and you can directly use the Cosmos SDK and you can start building application over it. How it will be done further, you need to wait for some time, because we'll talk about it blockchain 1 point when we go, when we start digging deep into the blockchain concepts. We'll also talk about blockchain 1.0, 2.0 and 3.0. We'll talk about Cosmos ecosystems, we'll talk about how blockchain ecosystem really work. We'll talk about these things in detail. Okay, don't go more deep into, because it's like beginner friendly as of now. We're only talking the concept that is beginner friendly. If we go more deep into the concept, it will be, people will start like there will be some persons who don't know about this concept. Okay, so it will be going above their head. Okay, so don't go more deep into, just understand the basic concept, the basic architecture that is there, and we'll keep on, see, we'll keep on evolving. So that's why we have a complete series, we'll talk about each concept every day. So we don't, that's why I'm not bringing multiple topics in one day. We're just only covering one topic, which means we'll start small, but we'll go we'll learn for a longer period of time. Okay, that is what my aim is. Okay, instead of learning everything in one day, we'll learn together for a longer period of time. But at the end, the goal of this stream is like, by the end of the stream, you get to know what exactly the blockchain is, and you get to know how to build a career out of this blockchain ecosystem. Okay, that is what my aim is. Okay, that's why I'm just keeping this series one by one. Okay, so this is the second episode of the series where we talked about the history of the blockchain. First we talked about what is the blockchain, today we talked about the history of blockchain, and tomorrow we'll talk about what are the types of blockchain, and then we'll move to the next concept, that is the features of blockchain. These are four topics that we are going to cover in this week. Okay, so hope you, so let me know if you are able to understand the history of blockchain or not. So let me know, and then we'll if it is understandable to everyone, we'll close this session for today here only, and we'll move to the next stream tomorrow. Okay, so if you have any doubt, you can drop your doubt now. If you don't have any doubt, we'll close it off. Cosmos ecosystem, the cosmic, it is Cosmos ecosystem. We'll talk about it, Cosmos ecosystem, don't worry about it. We'll like we can talk about it separately. Okay, we'll talk about it separately. So Cosmos is the ecosystem where you can build blockchain over blockchain, which means it's like you need not. So if you talk about Ethereum, Ethereum is just a blockchain where you, which is a blockchain where you can create decentralized application over a blockchain, which means it is a one layer solution where we have only one Ethereum blockchain, and you can use over Ethereum blockchain you can build multiple application. But in Cosmos, what is the Cosmos is providing, that Cosmos is a blockchain. Over Cosmos you can create one more blockchain, and over one that blockchain you can create multiple application, which means in Ethereum you can only create 10,000 smart contract, which means you can only build 10,000 application that can be done, which means that is one level solution. But in Cosmos provided two level solution where you can build blockchain over blockchain, and over blockchain you can build the different applications. That is what Cosmos ecosystem is, which means you can build blockchain over blockchain. We'll talk about Cosmos in more detail, because that will, but before we're moving to Cosmos, we need to understand the basic fundamental parts, because if you don't understand the fundamentals, it will be go above your head. Okay, so that's why we don't we will not read about Cosmos today, we'll talk about it later. You can easily visit the Cosmos website. You can see a lot of things on the Cosmos. If you want to read more about it, the website is cosmos.network. You can easily go to the website. Here you will see all the details that they have, or the product they have, how what they are offering. You can see all the details about it. Okay, but don't go more. We'll not talk in more detail as of now, because I have to take everyone together. So we'll talk about it later. Okay, and which So there are a lot of products that are there in the market. There is an ecosystem called Juno. Juno is a Cosmos based blockchain. Then we have Evos. There is also a blockchain based ecosystem, a blockchain over Cosmos. So there are a lot of products that we have. Juno, Evos. You will see a lot of blockchain, around 25 plus blockchain that are currently live on Cosmos ecosystem. So it's like Cosmos give you a feature where you can build a blockchain over Cosmos. So it's like super awesome ecosystem. And thank you every all. I guess nobody has any other doubt, so we are closing this for the day. And tomorrow we'll talk about the next part, that is the types of blockchain, and then we'll talk about the last part, that is the features of the blockchain. So we'll talk about these two topics in upcoming streams. Okay. I will let you know the time for the next stream. And thank you for everyone for joining in. Bye bye.